This is Matchweek. You are joined by myself, Ardi. We discuss everything soccer from the highs and the lows in the sporting week to the news that is relevant to you. We are live. Welcome back. And this is Match Week. WMSC Upper Montclair. How are we doing today, folks? My name is Ardi as per usual. Always here every Wednesday, having some fun. Today, I am joined by my two guests, Besmir Zuda and Dejan Bursak. Boys, say what's up.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody's day doing?
Good morning, everyone.
Now, let's see. It's been quite a week, I would have to say the least. Besmir and I, we've both suffered defeats from a certain team that shall not be named.
Yes, Harry Potter.
The boy who lived has come to unalive. Okay, good. Okay, no more Harry Potter topics. That's it. Over. But yeah, so Arsenal are on fire right now. They've gotten two of the biggest results they've needed this week to secure top four. How are we feeling about this, guys?
See, I had a feeling they were going to be on a roll since they've always had quality performers. They just needed a little boost. Small little leadership can go a long way, especially with young teams. So Odegaard did his thing, just like I said previously last week. I knew he was going to score or assist. Thankfully, he scored. Eddie Nketiah, wow, what a player. Honestly, what an amazing player. He could be possibly a very, very good swoop for any type of team. But if I were Arsenal, I definitely want to keep him and, try to bring somebody that he could compete with.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it from my point of view, I would say, yeah, it was upsetting as a Chelsea fan, like we've said 85 times over the last 3-4 weeks. It was a shock loss, but not one that I'm really upset about. Arsenal's done very well under Arteta. At times criticized. He was under the knife for a while. To pull off two big wins against, a team that's in Chelsea pretty much secured the top three, 5 points ahead with a game in hand, and to beat out a rival and effectively end United's chances at a top four finish, it just makes the end of the season that much more exciting at the top of the table, first and second place, obviously. But even at the race for the top four, I mean, we look at Spurs, a very, very difficult schedule left in Liverpool, Leicester, and Burnley, and Norwich, aside from the Arsenal match, which might be the decider for top four, which will be a massive match. Whereas Arsenal's schedule isn't that much easier. I mean, West Ham has looked very good. Chelsea just squeaking with a last-minute winner by Captain America, Christian Pulisic. And then Jesse Marsch has Leeds United flying high. They're playing very well. And it's always going to be a struggle to go to a Newcastle side that is, able to upset anyone in the league. I mean, that's why we love the Premier League, right? But, I mean, Arsenal plays Everton on the last match day. And what might be a last gasp game for Frank Lampard and the Blues to stay up in the Prem.
If you're Frank Lampard, are you sticking with Everton? Like, does Everton stick with you? That's the question we have, right? Is Everton going to be a guaranteed place for him to continue working, or as soon as they get relegated, are they going to drop him and just try to get a Sean Dyche, someone who's been proven to be reliable in the Championship?
Well, if you were to ask me, I would say, I think Everton stays up. If they go down, Frank Lampard's pull on players will be good for them. However, like you said, someone like a Sean Dyche, in all fairness to Sean, he doesn't deserve to be in the championship. He's a Premier League level manager.
I agree.
Here's the thing. we say that, but the thing we can't say that he's a guaranteed top class championship manager just because of what he's been able to do when he's been in the championship. Every team he's been within the championship has either nearly won it or has gotten somehow promoted.
I mean, listen, Lampard did very well with Derby, right? Derby. Same thing. Tomato. And listen, I would think it would be brilliant if Lampard was in the championship next season, him and Rooney duking it out for the championship title and promotion.
Rooney's getting
Relegated.
Oh, that's right.
It's guaranteed.
Man.
It was
Sorry
guaranteed
to
2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah. It was guaranteed, but still, the performance that they put in, being with like negative 24 points, it was
he's a Derby legend. I think
And listen,
any other manager would have just.
with all due respect, if Lampard, if Rooney is willing to stay with Derby in League One, which I've heard reports that say there's a good chance he will.
He's 100% doing it.
He stays, going to get them promoted. It's going to be massive for his reputation. I mean, and that's that bulldog spirit that Rooney's famous for. He might have played for Manchester United in the era of the Chelsea United rivalry in the Prem,
the golden era of Manchester United.
It was amazing watching him. All those years. It's very fitting for someone like a Rooney to go and stay at Derby as they get relegated to help push them back. I mean, he's going to be a cult hero. I'm not surprised if he manages to get them promoted next year into the championship. A year or two after that, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the Prem.
Well, here's the thing, right? When we have someone like Wayne Rooney and what he's doing with Derby, do you think it's more admirable than what we see with, let's say, like Patrick Vieira at Crystal Palace, or even Steven Gerrard at like Rangers / Aston Villa? What do we see this route for Rooney? Do we see it more so as he's genuinely trying to prove himself as a manager, or more so of the route that he's just trying to get like brownie points for other fans?
Now, from my perspective, if I was in Rooney's shoes, I'd stay, and I think that's what he's going to do. I think Rooney, we've seen, is very loyal. Very loyal. He stayed at United for a long time.
13 good years.
There were times where, I thought Chelsea was going to sign him a couple of times. Everyone
City,
wanted him,
everybody.
but he ended up staying. He stayed. United, even in their tough times, years they weren't winning the title, whatever it was, he was there. And I think, people are going to say, well, supposedly he handed in transfer requests, whatever. But he ended up staying. Wayne Rooney had the power at United to really leave if he wanted to leave.
If you think about it, actually, technically, every single season Wayne Rooney played at Manchester United, he won some type of trophy. Fun fact.
Yeah, and listen, it's not a surprise.
And it's even impressive during the Van Gaal and even the early Mourinho years. Like, he somehow was able to pull out these FA Cup wins, Community Shields, Europa League, his last season at United. So he knows how to win. And that's something that a club like a Derby needs. They need someone who's been a glorified winner for all of his career.
And you know what? The thing is very simple, that Wayne Rooney also has the pull where, while some of those players might not want to go down to League One with Derby, because it's Wayne Rooney, who is arguably one of the most underrated players I've ever seen. I don't think he's given enough credit. He rarely had a bad match for United. He rarely did. He was always out there. If he wasn't scoring a goal, he was grabbing an assist. He was making the difference, hustling to win the ball back. I mean, even look at his time at DC United, right?
I think the sad thing for Rooney is that the time when he went supernova, right? So Wayne Rooney was had his best years from 2006 to like 2012, like that in between era of where like a top like talent would be. It's not like he dominated a certain decade. Like, the 2000s was Rooney. The 2010s was Rooney. He was like in that middle ground of changing of playing styles and of players and this new wave of football and how it's being played now. So I think it was just unfortunate for the time that he was playing.
Well, and it's funny if you look at like the two highest goal scoring seasons he had in the league was 2009, 2010. He had 26 goals in 32 matches.
And it was 2011, 2012.
He had 27 in 34. And
What
2009,
about assists, though?
2010.
Like, Rooney's the type of guy who'll have double the goal,
But
double numbers of assists and goals.
Here's the tough thing though for him, right? In 2009, 2010, Chelsea wins the league.
Yeah.
2011, 2012, City wins the league, Chelsea wins the Champions League. So the poor guy, stellar seasons, right? Just overshadowed by a dream run by Chelsea, winning an FA Cup, European, Champions League double,
And then Aguero,
and then Aguero. It's the poor guy. And listen, let's be real. Towards the end of his United career, when Van Persie was there, I mean, they were a sight to behold.
Yeah.
They were just magnificent. But his two best goal-scoring seasons in the league just happened to get overshadowed by, listen, to score 26 goals in the league for United and to lose the title to Chelsea is tough. And then to score 27 goals a couple years later, just for City to come out of nowhere, last second winner after United thought they had the title won, effectively, last couple minutes. City pulls it out in dramatic fashion. Chelsea goes upsets Bayern in Germany.
Stop.
It's such a shame. Rooney has some of the most memorable goals.
He has the memorable.
Hitting that bicycle kick. But even
That was disgusting.
there's always a lot of negative talk. And I guess we're doing this whole section now on Wayne Rooney and why we all love him so much.
I'll allow it. You know me.
Yeah,
Wayne Rooney's my favorite footballer ever.
And, that he comes to DC United and there's this big shadow cast over all designated players as they're lazy, they're here for the money, blah, 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 so on and so forth in MLS. Last minute of a match, he sprints 60 yards, puts in the tackle, turns,
whips a ball in.
sends a beautiful ball into the box. DC United scores. They grab the points at the death of it. This is a Rooney in his 30s making that effort in the dying embers of the match. That's that bulldog spirit that Wayne Rooney had, that he didn't care if he was playing against, I want to say one of the small countries, San Marino with England, or he's playing the Champions League final against Chelsea in Moscow. For him, it was all the same.
Yeah.
He was going to go out there. He was going to make sure that when he stepped off the pitch, his team, his job was done. His team was in the very best position to win that match because of him.
I think the sad thing that is really like an overshadowing for his career is how England fans really ridicule him with his performances for England. Even though he was England's top goal scorer ever for a little while, they see his early performances in the World Cup when he had gotten like the red card and things happened with him there, and then just not really finding the right rhythm with the national team. And as we've seen with a lot of English fans and a lot of English players, they do really put this like negative connotation towards how you're perceived when it comes with England. I think that really describes the player.
See, the problem with England is the fact that they will never remember if you do all these good things. The one time you mess up completely, they're going to charge you. They're going to completely abuse you, whether on a social media platform or anything. But they will always forget the the goal or assist or the knockouts in the World Cup or in the Euros. But let's say you miss a penalty, a free kick, or you give a foul inside the box. They're going to absolutely ridicule you for the whole year. They will not stop talking about it. As we saw with Saka, Rashford, they miss.
Sancho,
Well,
they
it's all
miss.
right. They've all found a familiar foe, and everyone just hates Gareth Southgate at this point. So
Yeah, but they say that, but then like everyone's like, "Oh, we trust Gareth."
yeah, in
even
Southgate we trust.
Even though I guarantee you, somehow Everton's gonna get relegated, and we're still gonna see freaking Jordan Pickford in net for England for the World Cup.
Well, listen. In all fairness, Jordan Pickford is quality.
Quality. Look, have you seen him in the Premier League?
But the whole club is like that in the Prem. Now,
No, Jordan Pickford in the past couple of years, every time he's not playing for England,
see,
it's
Dejan,
absolute garbage.
Dejan, these English fans, all they do is they only ever focus on your lows.
No, dude, it's not your lows. Dude, if you see him play for Everton, I'm sorry, he's not as good as a Dean Henderson or as even a Ben Foster. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, I low-key agree with that just because I'd probably put Nick Pope in goal
Exactly,
before I put
Nick
Pickford in goal.
Pope. Even a Forrester, that's a shout right there.
All right, yeah, let's agree to disagree on that topic.
I put the cycling goalkeeper in, might as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's just because I want to hear him mic'd up during a match at the World Cup.
Oh my God!
And he's sitting there,
man.
sitting there talking about the fan in the stands that's dumping beer over himself or something like that. Like that's,
Oh my God.
it's when you being an English fan, you guys have to understand is also rough.
Yeah.
They have what is the most competitive league of any sport anywhere in the world. The Premier League is unpredictable. Now, I'm not saying it's the best football, the best player. It's the most entertaining. It has some of the best players. It has some of the best managers, some of the best teams. Right? There are world-class players and managers and teams in other leagues, but none of them are followed as much as the Premier League is followed. It is the largest sporting spectacle league in the world. And when you go from every week being in that atmosphere to getting to the national team where, when was the last time they won the World Cup? 70 years ago.
Back when Bobby Moore was captain.
Right? But, it's tough for them because they know they have all this quality. And to come out of the golden generation, we're not even going to sit here and talk about the likes of Ferdinand, Terry, Cole, Gerrard, Lampard, Rooney, all these. Like, it's unreal.
Here's the thing,
and to never win anything, that's tough.
I think the quality is close to that golden generation, except the difference is that there's way more unity. But then still, when you're calling out players like Harry Maguire, I'm sorry. No.
See, but that's the thing. Take the best 11 players from that golden generation, and there's maybe a handful of the current players on the English national team that I would say, okay, XYZ can play over Lampard and Gerrard.
Okay,
it's tough. It's very tough.
This would be a fun thing for us. Let's do this. Let's say between the England's current starting 11 and between the golden generation starting 11, who do you keep? Who do you keep from either team and combine? Like, what are we doing?
So let's go with the 2010 English World Cup squad.
I think that's fair, right?
Can we do that?
The team that was robbed by the Germany goal, yeah.
Yeah. Let's actually look at. I'm gonna pull up their starting lineup from that match.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull up the England starting lineup for against Italy.
Also, with the England squad right now, you also have lots of like youngsters. You don't really have like an older veteran back then like you did, because usually you had all the players like Lampard, Terry, Gerrard. People that are veterans. Now you have a bunch of young kids who are captained by Harry Maguire out of all people, and John Stones in defense. So you don't really have that true veteran to lead it. Some people might say Jordan Henderson, all that, but that comes nowhere near to what Lampard, Gerrard, and all the other veterans have.
Well, let's be real. I mean, if Harry Maguire was to keep the captaincy, over someone like Harry Kane, it would be very difficult for Southgate to defend that kind of a decision. I mean, between the three of us and anyone listening, Harry Maguire is maybe a fraction the player Harry Kane is. I mean,
okay, so I just want to go from position to position. So goalkeeper, who are we going with?
So in goal for this match, the starting goalkeeper was, oh Lord, I just saw the name Emil Heskey show up on my, oh wow.
Oh, Heskey!
You have Heskey for England. You have Miroslav Klose, arguably the best goal scorer to ever play in the World Cup. Like, unreal. Klose was unreal. Played in 85 World Cups. And then to see Emil Heskey line up on the other side, no comment.
Oh God.
No offense to Emil Heskey. All right, so let's see. The goalkeeper in net that day was, is this right?
Probably Joe Hart, right?
Was David James.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, David James. Yeah, that sounds right.
So David James, I mean,
David James over, who was it? Pickford, I'm pretty sure, right?
So this is so this will be kind of tough. So David James at the time of the 2010 World Cup was just finished with Portsmouth, was headed to Bristol City.
Oof. What an upgrade.
Stints at Liverpool, Villa, West Ham, City, Watford, Bournemouth, and now his last competitive match was 8 years ago, but in his prime, David James was quality, right? I mean, we're not going to argue that, are we?
No, I don't think we argue David James.
Yeah.
I'll take David James.
Now, realistically speaking, if we look at just his trophy cabinet, I mean, yeah, he didn't win much, but I'm trying to figure out, which of these other
Should
You
play
know,
for Tottenham.
who was the keeper for in the match against Italy? Was it Pickford?
It was Pickford.
It was
All right, and I know I'm not going to win that battle with you guys. Obviously, I'm not trying to.
Well, I mean, it's tough between a David James and a Jordan Pickford because they're sort of one and the same of how they sort of play. They're not the most ball distributing goalkeepers. They're not the most progressive, right? They're shot stoppers. So I think either or is a coin toss.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't. I'm fine with David James being.
I'm fine with either or. Whatever you guys want to say.
For me, honestly, I'd take Pickford. Not saying anything about David James, but I just prefer Pickford right now.
I don't have a problem with that. If we're being
All
honest.
right, we're gonna go Jordan Pickford just for this one. Okay, goalkeeper Jordan Pickford.
Are we really okay?
Yeah, we'll go Jordan Pickford.
All right.
Defense. So are we sticking with a traditional back four that they've played with in the past, or are we going to the back five?
Well, England in that match against Italy played what?
Back five, right?
Back five.
Yeah, with Luke
So-
Shaw left wing back.
I think we.
Okay,
I
right
think
now
we should
I'm
go back four.
okay. I'm gonna say this right now. If we're gonna go by best England performance in the modern era, we have to go with the back five being that best performance against Italy. No, making it to the Euro.
I mean, yeah, we could, but at the same time, if we look at the level of players, I mean, which of those center backs from England are going to play over John Terry, for example, and
Because here's my argument. Because someone like a Kyle Walker, I think deserves a spot. To be perfectly honest.
so we can agree. I think Kyle
Yeah,
Walker's
who-
our,
yeah.
our right back. Our
Yeah,
starting right
yeah,
back.
I wouldn't say
100%. Who's the
starting
right
right
back?
Well, I mean, Glenn Johnson.
Oh yeah,
No, but
yeah, no.
England. But here's the thing: like England here, they're missing. There's also Reece James. There's
Trent.
also Trent, but Trent was injured at the time, so we can't count him. Can we count him?
Trent. I mean, did he play in the? Yeah, he was in the squad, right?
Yeah.
No,
I
he
mean,
was injured. He was in the World Cup squad. Remember, he got replaced by
yeah, no.
Trippier.
So technically we can't, but we could if we wanted. Listen, Trent isn't playing. I mean, over. If we go to the back four I'm pushing for.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Ashley Cole guaranteed left back.
Yeah.
Everyone agreed?
So
100%.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So,
Just-
all right.
Anybody that can stop Ronaldo at United definitely earns a left back starting spot.
Ashley Cole's one of the best left backs in the modern era, so can't tell me otherwise. Even though I love Luke Shaw, nah.
All right, as long as we're on the same page, then. All right, so we can pencil in Ashley Cole as our left back.
100%.
All right, so
I think we should be going with a back five, and the back five should be Ashley Cole.
Left wing back. Kyle Walker, right wing back.
No, Kyle Walker at the right center back.
Okay.
John Terry, Rio
Okay.
Ferdinand.
Okay.
yeah,
and
but
then-
Rio wasn't. I don't see Rio on this.
Rio should be.
So who's playing? Who's
No,
playing?
he wasn't at the 2010 World Cup, was he?
Was he injured?
He's not on the bench or anything.
Really?
So he could have been injured.
So that's why I'm saying,
Who's starting in his place?
because if Harry Maguire starts for
Oh, God.
this England side, I'm going to break something. So,
No. Whoa. Jamie Carragher.
oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
Oh,
come
dude,
on.
You
It's like the English Vidic.
No, you can't disrespect Jamie Carragher.
Totally can. The guy's a lunatic.
He won a World Cup.
No,
Not World Cup,
the guy's a
he won
psychopath.
Champions League. I'm sorry, he won
And
Champions League.
yeah. Listen, do we want to pretend? At what point in time was Jamie Carragher ever even considered close to being world class?
Yeah, I agree with him.
Everyone likes him because he's a pundit, but even now he says ridiculous
not even
things.
as a pundit. I don't even care about him as a pundit. I think as someone who's a solid center back, I take
Who's-
him.
oh
in the
my
center
God,
pairing.
he would get burned by anyone in the modern game. Any
Yeah.
winger nowadays would embarrass him.
Your choice. Who do you want? Emil Heskey or Jamie Carragher? Make your choice, bro.
Oh, I'm going Heskey.
Okay, we'll go Heskey. We'll go
Heskey.
Emil Heskey.
No, but Heskey's a forward. Heskey's a forward. We're not going to put him at center back. We could because
I feel
he's
like
a big man.
You'd have to worry more about
But-
Carragher getting a red card in a
But
game than
he-
you'd
but
ever have to worry
Hear
about.
me out. Having Reece James, Kyle Walker, John Terry, Ashley Cole in a back four gives us so much room for attackers and midfielders that there's so much quality.
I know, but the issue is that like a Kyle Walker, it's not like he's an actual legitimate like center back. He just thrives in that back.
But he can still do. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
People
Okay.
hate me for it, but I love Kyle Walker.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't disagree with you. That okay. So how about that? We'll go with a back four.
Terry at left center back, Kyle Walker at right center back.
How do we just cheese Rio Ferdinand out of this like lineup? I'm really agitated about this.
Well, I don't see him on.
Even if he was there, he'd get a starting spot. 100%.
Oh no, for sure. I just don't see him on the. I don't see him on here.
Yeah, we have to go by best teams, by best performances. So we can't include Trent and we can't include Rio because they're not in these two squads.
Which I'm not too upset about anyway.
I'm upset about.
So who would be our right wing back?
Well, we're going back 4. I thought we just said.
Yeah, we're gonna go back
okay,
4.
okay.
We're gonna go.
First of all, can we talk about this Germany match? The goal scorer for England on the day was Matthew Upson, who was playing. Yeah, exactly. Was playing for West Ham at the time.
Yeah.
Not one listener is going to know who Matthew Upson is, and if you don't, it's fine.
That's fair.
He's currently 43 and retired. But listen, played plenty of Prem. But Fabio Capello called up, and I believe started Matthew Upson against Germany in the World Cup knockout game.
But also Sean Wright Phillips making a showing. Joe Cole.
Well, Sean.
Jermaine.
Joe Cole is class.
Oh, don't be mean to Joe Cole.
I'm
Yeah,
not
don't
being
be-
mean. I'm just saying, like,
Joe Cole is
no, but
class.
I'm saying these names like to remind people, like this was the England team. Like,
Yeah,
people
Jermaine
forget.
Defoe. Oh Lord,
Ooh.
Jermaine Defoe.
At
Sunderland,
right
Jermaine
now.
Defoe?
No, he is there right now. I think this is his last season with them.
No, he retired. I think.
He's retiring. Yeah. That's what I mean. Okay, so back 4 is agreed upon. Left back Ashley Cole.
Yep.
Left center back John Terry.
Yep.
Right center back Kyle Walker, and then right back we're gonna go Reece James. I think it's fair. He was in the England team.
See, would you put it?
I mean, I don't
Here's the thing,
think Glenn Johnson beats him out.
What about right now, Reece James or 2018 World Cup trip?
Trippier in both World Cups was
Because
good.
Trippier, you know, against that game in Croatia, that free kick was phenomenal. I think he always put in a performance every single game that he played for
Now,
me.
I'm obviously biased here, but I don't think Trippier's as good as Reece James is.
I know, but
Right now I agree.
Are,
Right now,
we
yes.
also putting into consideration what he's been able to do for someone like a Newcastle as of late?
I mean, Reece James is a European and world champion.
I know. It's tough.
So
It's-
we could say that.
I know, but it's because
Trippier
here's
won
the
La
thing, like
Liga.
we're gonna get flack right away from this because we're not including Trent, which is very tough. Like it's very tough not to have Trent included in this.
In all
whatsoever.
fairness, we've seen for the national team, Southgate prefers Reece over Trent anyway, doesn't he?
See, because
Well, he prefers Trippier over all of them. I don't know.
You'd want-
weirdo.
Well, Reece has been injured, so
Yeah.
Reece James.
see, if I was Southgate, if I needed someone to, you know, who doesn't know how to defend but knows how to pass the ball, I'd definitely start Trent. But if I wanted somebody, a complete player who knows how to pass, dribble,
It's gonna be
shoot,
Reece James. I think we
Yeah,
all have to
yeah.
take- okay. Reece James makes it. I just wanted to make sure we went over. Our bases.
And on a side note, can we talk about real quick? My dad hates the fact that Tuchel played Reece James at right center back to negate Vinicius,
Yeah.
which totally makes sense to me. But my dad believes it is now the downfall of Reece James because he played one match at right center back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you can't stop Vinicius.
Oh, Bajo.
Not this season.
My-
Reece James over.
my dad and I can't ever seem to agree on anything Chelsea.
Oh yeah. All right. Midfield.
Ooh.
So we're going.
Lampard, Gerrard, Rice. There's my midfield three.
Hold on,
You
wait.
guys
look
decide.
agree with that.
Wait. I have a question though. What's the exact line we're doing? Are we doing a traditional 4-3-3?
Or we're doing a 4-3-3 attack, 4-3-3 defend. holding.
I'm just going Rice, Lampard, Gerrard. If you can run through that midfield,
That's where my
you
FIFA
deserve
tactic came into play.
the Ballon d'Or.
Hold on, I want to see.
Who's the CDM for England in the Germany game?
I mean, here I see Gerrard, Lampard, and Gareth Barry.
Ah,
I have never seen. Listen,
City Gareth Barry. Oh man.
for anyone that knows, I am a devoted FIFA manager mode, career mode player. I'm not an ultimate
This
team
is
guy,
true.
right? Gareth Barry was always the guy I'd buy, but then I'd have to go buy somebody fast to play next to him in midfield
Yeah.
because he had 20. He had 26 pace.
Okay, so hear me out.
If he says Gareth Barry, I'm gonna flip.
Michael Carrick, I think, deserves a shout. Yes or no?
Ooh.
I'm not gonna argue with Michael Carrick. I love Michael
Yeah.
Carrick.
Because
I think Declan Rice, though, in the run up to that final,
I know, but here's the thing, right? You have the choice of. Honestly, I think having both Lampard and Gerrard on the same field is pointless. Personally,
oh Lord, you're not going to try to argue Carrick over Lampard or Gerrard, are you?
No. I think Lampard's a guaranteed, but I just think that Lampard's a step up from Gerrard personally.
Oh, listen, I agree with that completely.
And then if you have a Declan Rice in there, imagine a prime Michael Carrick, dude.
Yeah, but just the level of physical ability, Rice sitting behind Lampard and first of all, There's no way in hell anyone wins anything in the air there.
Yeah, but like,
There's no
but
way.
here's the issue though.
Fast, strong,
Declan
good on the
Rice,
ball.
Yeah, but Declan Rice is not that sitting CDM as he started out in his career. Like, he's been a way more progressive midfielder. Way more progressive.
Box to box.
When you have
Almost.
Lampard, Gerrard, you don't need just one person sitting. The three of them, first of all, Lampard, Gerrard can all play in that role as well, like they did later in their careers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. I love Michael Carrick.
I know, so like that's why I understand
Declan Rice is going to go for over $100 million this summer.
No, but I'm not arguing him over Rice. I'm sort of arguing him over Gerrard for balance. Personally, if we're talking about a balanced midfield three.
As a coach, I would never think twice about starting Lampard and Gerrard over a Carrick or Gerrard over Carrick. No disrespect to Michael Carrick.
I know it's so tough because like we have to say Gerrard and Lampard because they're generational talents, and I'm sort of upset. Where is Paul Scholes? Like I'm really like angry
Scholesy.
right now. I don't know why he's not in this lineup, but it is what it is. He probably got injured. Knowing him,
Well, he spent half his career injured, so
yeah,
That's true.
Which, listen, when it comes, I think the problem with that golden generation for the English national team came because people like a Fabio Capello, who, listen, yeah, good manager, especially back in the day when he was in his prime, he was winning a ton, so that clearly he was all right. I think they overcomplicated. They tried to overcomplicate things that didn't need to be overcomplicated.
yeah.
Having Lampard, Gerrard, and back then a Carrick in the midfield, like you're looking at Fabio Capello started Gareth Barry over Michael Carrick here.
Yeah.
Like that.
Delusional.
He also started Upson.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
And then he also subbed on James Milner. Let's not forget.
Well, listen,
A young
Joe
James
Hart
Milner,
didn't even
I
see
know.
the field.
I know Joe Hart didn't even see that's true.
Joe Hart was exceptional for the English national team.
Wait, so then do we have to go back on our goalie decision then for Pickford? Because Joe Hart...
Yeah, if Joe Hart is included, I'd put Joe Hart over both of them, 100%.
I agree. I'm going to make that change.
all right,
yeah.
Okay, we agree. Make that
Joe
change.
Hart would definitely start in any
So
England squad of mine.
here's the two places we're defense is guaranteed right now. Midfield.
And Lampard seems to be guaranteed. Is that agreed?
Lampard and Rice is guaranteed.
So, Dejan, I guess you get to vote between Gerrard or Carrick.
Yeah, you have to decide.
Ardi, I'm sorry,
I know
man.
it has to be Gerrard.
It has to be
It
Gerrard.
has to be Gerrard. There's no other.
Michael Carrick has done so much for the game, but when we're talking,
Dejan's going to go home and try to buy all these guys for his ultimate team.
Hey, FIFA is dead right now, so you're golden, dude.
Just a little bit.
Is it really? Why? What's wrong with...
No, it's about to hit team of the season.
no
Oh, really?
content.
No content.
Might have to call the bank again.
So,
All right.
let's look at our wide midfielders.
So the wings, we have to pick two wingers.
Oof. I'd honestly probably go with the younger generation for the wingers.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Joe Cole or...
Well,
I think Joe Cole deserves a shout.
agreed. I'd go Joe Cole Sterling. Now, I know you're not the biggest fan of Sterling.
I'm about to say Sterling does not deserve a start if we're talking about wingers. No, thank you.
I mean, when we're talking about output for the first of all, I don't...
Here's the thing, because I'm skipping the striker right now. If we're going to striker, Wayne Rooney starting. Yes or no?
No, I agree. I agree.
So
Yeah.
if Wayne Rooney's starting at striker, Raheem Sterling is going to be useless in that team. Personally, I think he's useless. I think you're much better off having a Jack Grealish out there
Nah.
over Wayne Rooney.
Honestly?
I'm thinking about a ultimate balanced team.
Sancho?
Or Sancho too. Yeah, he's correct.
Sancho, nice little dribbles around the box.
Rashford
whip it
still in
in.
the
can I
conversation.
be honest?
Saka.
A Mason Mount out wide is exactly what Rooney would have loved to play with.
That's true as well. So that's the thing. Like, so
Are we giving Joe Cole the spot on the wing? I don't.
that's my question. Do we? I don't know.
I don't think a single one of these.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to any of the youngsters
Joe
right now.
Cole, Eden Hazard is the English Joe Cole. Is the Belgian Joe Cole.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Joe Cole, anyone out there listening, when you have a moment, you go and watch Joe Cole in his time for Chelsea, for Liverpool, for Lille, anywhere he played at West Ham. Joe Cole was just impossible to stop. I mean, you're a United fan.
Yeah,
he has a whole highlight reel of him embarrassing United, which isn't easy.
It's no. not easy feat whatsoever.
So Joe Cole was phenomenal.
That's
I mean,
what-
and
that's
to
what I'm
have the
saying.
double Cole on the left wing.
But here's the question: like, is the left and right wing technically interchangeable? Because Joe Cole could be on either.
Yeah, no, for me it is. I mean, I'm gonna put it down on the left, just because Ashley Cole is there, and Cole to Cole for a cross from Cole, I think is gonna be brilliant.
And then if that's so, then
I'd probably start Sancho in mine.
that's why I'm thinking. Here's the thing: in my honest opinion, right now, it's a decision between either Sancho or Mount. If I have to be perfectly honest.
Let's be honest. When have you ever seen Sterling whip a ball in from anywhere?
But Sterling's not in the conversation for me. He's really not. Sterling, all he is that extra man in space.
Sterling is a good goal scoring winger though.
Yeah,
Like if
he
you
is.
need a goal from the winger, I think he could get you one. Like if you put him in dangerous spots.
I think
Well-
he's been very beneficial to the teams he's been in. Like he's been in the right place at the right time.
Well, he's
with the
also
right
scored a lot
players.
of big goals for those
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the one against Tottenham didn't count, which
Yeah,
Which
which is tough. But honestly, look at the profile of Wingard. Well, listen, I think Sterling would play well with our midfield three, right? If the question is getting the best of Wayne Rooney up top, who, remember, we just completely skipped over the king, Harry Kane,
Yeah,
which
but
I understand. I'm not arguing.
I
Harry Kane
want
barely
like,
knows how to speak
But
English.
do we
let
throw
alone play
Rooney
soccer.
out wide and put Harry Kane up top?
no.
No, absolutely not. I don't think.
That's a waste of Wayne Rooney. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think Wayne Rooney would even be
Wayne
able to-
Rooney. You only do that with Wayne Rooney if you have a Ronaldo. in
Well,
the
then
team.
my question is this: do we get rid of Declan Rice and put a winger out wide and put put Rooney in behind Harry Kane?
That's a shout because then
Gerrard can play the deeper lying midfielder.
I know, but that's the thing. Harry Kane is a really creative striker. Like he'll drop back and receive balls. So
I mean, I see Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, similar to Rooney Van Persie.
sort of like a 4-4-2 then. You
yeah,
wanna switch it up to.
yeah. And Rooney just sitting
If
behind
it's
the
a
striker.
4-4-2,
if
then
necessary.
yeah, Kane and Rooney up top. Definitely.
Kane and Rooney up top, and then
And with no disrespect to Declan Rice,
no disrespect. there,
But-
no.
Harry Kane in the squad is huge for this
Yeah, but
for
like,
this team.
what if we just did a Lampard Rice partnership? To be perfectly honest,
No,
I'm just curious.
Ardi, you're passing treacherous waters here.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't
have
care
no
about
problem putting Rooney in just behind Kane, because listen, Rooney can play the 10. He's played there a tremendous amount of
Yeah.
times for United.
He can play
in the
false nine,
past.
anything. So
He
he's fine.
can. He's fine. I mean, if that means we can then take Rice out,
and start Kane. But then here's the thing. So now this answers the question of, do we stick with like a Sancho or a Mount, or now do we have to start Saka because it's a like sort of a deeper lying role?
I don't think Saka enters the equation when it comes. If we're talking
absolutely.
I'm
Sterling,
just I know,
Sancho,
but
Mount.
I'm just talking about in just terms of balance. Nothing else of like actual like player
Let's think-
status.
so-
Yeah, he'd get a spot on the reserves, 100%.
So
yeah, probably.
So Cole is going to be a big. He's going to stay wide. Will drift central when he gets the ball. Mount, I think, would interchange well with Rooney. Rooney, likes to drift wide at times. When anywhere he can find space, Rooney finds space.
I don't know.
However, Sterling out wide is going to stay as wide as he can, and if anyone can use Sterling's pace, it's going to be Harry Kane and Rooney freaking picking out.
Yeah, but also
I caught myself there, by the way.
Yeah, I know. But also, like, Jadon Sancho has the pace, and he also has the creativity of a Mason Mount. Like, that's the thing. You cannot disregard Jadon Sancho.
Also, would we really consider Mason Mount as a winger? I understand he's playing in the right forward position, but
he's not though. Like, he's a central cam.
He's a wide. He'd be a wide 10, is what he would
Yeah,
yeah, I wouldn't see him anywhere near a
be.
right wing.
He'd be a false winger, is what he is.
yeah. That's
So listen, if it's Sterling versus Sancho, I give my vote to Sterling. I mean, once
See,
again,
I'm torn between both
not
of them.
just because he's a really good person, and Raheem Sterling is.
well. Raheem Sterling has always been abused by English media, so that's something I want to make very clear of. Like, he's been taken advantage of plenty of times.
Also Hungarian.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it's. I just think he's always. Like, we have to remember, he's been around for the last decade. He's only 27.
Yeah.
So he's technically just entering his prime. Like, the modern day soccer player, footballer, enters their prime a little later than what it used to be. So now at 30 years old,
I feel like it's earlier though, because look at people like a Jude Bellingham.
but they're also the career, due to modern technology and medicine, has been elongated for
Yeah.
the top level professionals. right? Looking at the Ibras and the Buffons and the Ronaldos of the world. I mean, all of them are doing it for so long now. I mean, look at someone like a Jose Font, right?
Yeah.
He's 38 there, and he still plays for Portugal.
Just on top of that, he plays for Lille, which are basically
and
second.
plays consistently. They won the title last year, didn't
Exactly.
they?
Yes.
You know, he's 38 years old, 39. Modern day medicine technology has shown, there's a lot of people that are breaking out sooner, and I think these youth players are breaking out sooner because of the hype they get after a good performance or two. Because of social media. Because of social media, they get all this hype around them. Boom, the manager puts them back in the squad. Boom, they play good again. They get more hype. And they build massive careers. Not that they're not; they're very good players.
I was about to say, because like someone like a Bellingham, I don't think it's just hype with him. Like for someone,
no,
who was 17,
he's amazing.
And then but let's be understanding, right? A 17, 18-year-old, we deal with them most of the time. They're usually little scrawny kids, don't have any muscle.
Listen, Gio Reyna did that.
Gallagher,
too.
Gilmore,
Jude Bellingham, has the thighs of Clarence Seedorf at 17 years old. Just to make that clear.
Like Gio Reyna left the States, went to Dortmund, did it too. Like, first of all, God bless Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
However, I still believe that is a benefit of all the modern technology, medicine, and whatnot. But at the same time, the modern player is more of a child than they are a man. It used to be
that's true.
It used to be a men's game. Like, I love Declan Rice because of the maturity he puts out. Mm-hmm. He puts out Lampard, Gerrard, Carrick, Scholesy type of vibes. He could
be a captain soon.
You know, he's a Jordan Henderson level of maturity.
Like he's reborn.
Now, Paul Pogba, the exact opposite.
Yeah.
He's an
all
amazing
the talent
player,
in the world.
Arrogant.
All the
Well, this is also the same discussion we had like a few weeks ago, right?
Men versus boys.
Well, it was also the fact that when we're talking about like a Romelu Lukaku acting like he's an NBA player, it's just the modern athlete standard has changed, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I just see it as those more mature players from the young age have sustained growth, and the hype is real with them. You know, I take it back to being a Chelsea supporter. I obviously keep tabs on all of our players. The Chelsea players that have all broken through the academy have done it because how strong they've been mentally and how mature they've been. You look at a Mount, at a Reece James. You know, you look at the two of them. You look at a Tamori,
Gilmore, Gallagher, Odoi.
But you look at the level of maturity in players.
Abraham,
that
Tamori.
is such a hard. That's an intangible. That is a deal breaker for a lot of players nowadays. You know, the immaturity of these superstar players is ridiculous. Like, look at Asaka at Arsenal. How he's a good kid. He's a good guy.
Yep.
You know, a lot of these the modern day players that have all this hype that explode in popularity and fame off. You know, one or two good matches and then fade away, is because they do it to themselves.
No, Rashford. I don't think that's the case. Rashford, it was the
Rashford
fact.
balls out, and then now he's like.
I don't
understand.
Immature.
Rashford, his issue was that he was forced to play with serious injuries for a long period of time.
I think the inconsistency at United has cost Rashford what could have been
one of the greatest,
like
players
an all-time English great. Like I love Marcus Rashford.
Are you kidding me? His debut, his two debut games against. Don't get me wrong. Against,
the Europa League.
In the Europa League against a lesser team, 2 goals and assist. Does the same exact thing against Arsenal. 2 goals and assist.
Yeah, no,
take it back to the free kick against Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean,
listen,
the goals against City, like that's also.
To be fair, Chelsea had Willie Caballero in net.
It doesn't matter, dude.
Whoa, hey.
It does not matter, bro.
No disrespect to Willie.
Willie went to City right after, so
right.
Clearly, everyone sees something in him. You have to understand.
Well,
this is also my issue is that can we even put Marcus Rashford in our with conversation?
No, I just think
now, no. Back then, yes.
If it had been, if he had been given the right resources and opportunities, the right time, in the right moment, yeah, I think Rashford would have been. I think he would have been world class without a doubt.
He also didn't expect to, get competition. Like, he didn't expect them to bring Jadon Sancho and other types of wingers to, compete against him.
But I think also we're glaring over the fact that I believe Marcus Rashford shouldn't be a winger whatsoever. Marcus
Do you think he should play
Rashford.
striker?
He should be he plays his best when he's at the
Yeah,
center.
but he
But
would
then
have
Ronaldo
to play,
would be useless.
but he would have to play on a team that is in a Liverpool style
Yes.
where he can press and then it's quick 1-2 go to goal. It's not as direct as United are at times.
Yeah, but also just having him run in behind is also very beneficial as well with his pace.
Yeah, which I think I think Liverpool is a great shout for him. I think that's where he fits in. He would fit in pretty well.
Yeah.
City?
Now, does he get in over Diego Jota right now? I don't think
Well,
so.
Diego Jota's been playing more central, and
You
then
know?
you could throw him out wide and then interchange.
If Salah leaves or one of these guys leave out,
From what it looks
It
like,
can
they're
happen.
only keeping one of the three because all their contracts expire in the summer.
So I'd let go of Salah. I think he's done everything he needs to do at Liverpool.
I would let go of Firmino and Mane.
Yeah, Firmino definitely is long overdue. Mane is,
I think they would be foolish to get rid of any of them.
Yeah, but
Why force it?
FSG has a very strict wage structure, and they're smart. You have to trust their structure because if you look at United right now, if you look at some of our top paid players, like Cavani is getting $1 million a week because he was a free transfer. Ronaldo $650 a week.
We can trust their wage structure all we'd like. However, City, it works differently, and in the time Klopp and Guardiola have both been at their clubs, Pep, we make fun of him. He spends a lot of money, but when it comes to consistency in the league and in the
He's
FA
there.
Cup, this is the first time he's not winning a domestic cup this in his tenure at
Yeah.
City. Well,
Maybe he might
wins.
he might win the Prem. Who knows?
But like the FA Cup, League Cup, there always shouts for it. Yeah, because they're Manchester City now. They're the big boy. But Guardiola has built a powerhouse.
City would be nothing without Guardiola.
They will go down, as a legacy team that won title after title after title, triple, domestic trebles and quadruples and all of this. Yesterday's performance, which we'll talk about later, I think they're going to get to the Champions League final, and they have a good shot to be the favorite to win it if they get there.
And then real quick, you are listening top of the hour of WMSC Upper Montclair.
Manchester City, what Guardiola's done there has been great, and the fact that with a Guardiola caliber manager, Raheem Sterling continues to find his place there and be deemed so important by Guardiola, and Guardiola loves the guy. I don't blame him. I love Sterling too.
I love him too.
He's played for Liverpool and City now. And listen, let's be real. Sterling starts at any team in the Prem.
Yeah.
If all these guys you guys say are leaving Liverpool, you can't tell me Sterling doesn't start for Liverpool if he was to go back. You know what I mean?
He definitely could.
He's there. I just think Sancho is going to be very good. He is good. He's going to be very good.
He is.
I feel like in this team we're building, he just offers more. To be perfectly honest.
Well, you guys are selling 10 players, so
Well, I'm talking about we're still on this topic of best team. We still haven't decided on a right wing.
Yeah.
So-
For this English team.
Joko.
I mean,
Well, Joe Cole's that we threw him out left.
Okay.
so we still need this one more winger, which for me, Sterling gets the nod. I can understand Sancho. I mean, Sancho's also still adapting to the Prem, right? He hasn't had the best Prem season.
He's had a really good second half of the season.
I feel like
he's been
It's been better.
Here's the thing. The only good players at United that have been good lately has been De Gea, Ronaldo, and Sancho. Everyone else has been mediocre to say the least.
I feel like if I need a goal, I'm definitely starting Sterling. But if I need, dribbling, passing, and I need an assist,
don't forget this team that we're building. You still have a Harry Kane, a Joe Cole, a Wayne Rooney, a Lampard, a Gerrard. You're gonna get a goal out of somewhere.
But that's the thing. Sterling and Joe Cole being dribblers out wide are going to draw defenders out,
exactly.
which is just going to create so much space for Rooney, Kane to get on the ball. You don't have to give Harry Kane more than 6 inches of space for him to grab a shot. I mean, I'm trying to. His Liverpool breakout season, 13-14, 12-13 for Liverpool, for Sterling. I mean, almost a decade ago. He's 27.
Yeah.
He's got another 5 years of top-level football in him, at the very least. I mean, I have nothing against Sancho. at the same time, Sancho hasn't proven anything, hasn't done anything. He can be very good.
Not yet.
But we've seen with Rashford how sour that can turn so quick.
Yeah.
You know, where Sterling shows it over and over again, and he's dealt with the criticisms that some of these other guys can't deal with.
I'm just looking at it from a perspective of, like, if you're going into a World Cup, who would you feel better having there? And personally, I would just feel better having Sancho there over Sterling.
Is this the Ardi talking or the Manchester United Ardi talking?
No. This is But even before he was even linked to United during the Euros, I was saying it all the time that Sterling should not be in that team whatsoever, even over a Grealish or even a Sancho.
So
personally.
what you're saying is Jack Grealish over Sterling?
I still pick a Grealish over Sterling. Grealish this season over Sterling's been better.
I don't know, man.
All of Grealish's underlying numbers this season just shows he's been unfortunate to not get the goals they should have had under his name.
But at the same time,
Stefan Savic owns Grealish.
1 or 2 good years from Grealish and Sancho, or the better part of almost a decade with Sterling. Sterling's been doing it since he was Sancho's age.
Yeah, I don't think Sterling has never gotten a start in Gareth Southgate's. Like, he's never gotten a bench or anything. He's always gotten the start. He's always
he's on 74 caps at the age of 27.
But also a Maguire and a Pickford's getting a start. So what does that really mean if we're going off Southgate's?
Yeah, but there's a lot
that's
more
because there's no other center backs.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot more competition.
Dan
on the
Burn
wings.
and Connor Cody.
If we're talking about right now, who would I start for England at center back? Mark Gahey, Tomori.
Well, for you, it's anyone but Harry Maguire.
Yeah, exactly.
He's pulling Conor Gallagher out of the midfield and throwing him next to Billy Gilmore at center backs.
4-finger Dan Burn in the
right. Like, I just look at it and think
Ben Mee.
it's a sight to behold when you look at all of the accomplishment Raheem Sterling has had. And probably continue to have. I mean, he was in the UEFA European Championship Team of the Tournament in 2020. PFA, FWA, Player of the Year, Footballer of the Year. I mean, he's Champions League Squad of the Season twice. You know, he was the Golden Boy in 2014.
Yep.
So many things. You know, he's...
Let's put it to a vote. We got to decide now.
I'm going Sterling.
I agree. You guys decide.
I'm going Sterling. I'm sorry.
And he's wearing a United hoodie today.
I know.
No,
so
not
here's the
really.
thing. So then Joe Cole's got to be out right, and
exposing,
Sterling's going to have to be left. That's where Sterling performs his best, is out left.
Yeah, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put this graphic together so we can put up on our social media, and then people can comment, tell us how horrible we are.
Yeah.
And everyone right
Can't
now
wait for
driving
slander.
or at work listening on to us on iHeartRadio, if you've been shaking your head for the last 25 minutes, 30 minutes we've been having this conversation, feel free to follow us on social media and let us know how horrible we are. I'm at the Besmir, or the podcast is...
Yeah, so guys, like I said, we're probably going to put something up later. Radio's up and good. But now we're going to switch topics, switch gears a little bit. We've had a little fun of dilly-dallying. Now on to the big stuff.
Oh, wait, before we move on, can we talk about this team and all the Chelsea players in this side? I've been able to squeeze in here today.
It doesn't matter, dude, because guess what? Wayne Rooney's in there. That's all I care about.
I mean, we have one United player.
A couple on the bench.
Well, Rio Ferdinand was hard done by. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I'll hand
Rio
that
Ferdinand, Michael Carrick, hard done by. That's fine.
I mean,
Sancho hard done by.
we have 2 City players, a Spurs player,
Oh, God.
one Liverpool player, and that's one too many, if you ask Ardi.
Man.
Well, no, listen, but let's be real. If Fabio Capello or Gareth Southgate had this squad and were able to put it out there, they'd still take Terry Walker and throw Harry Maguire in the middle and probably pull off like a Wayne Rooney.
Who knows?
But
Who knows?
a million other topics to move on to. So what's up, Ardi? Where are we going?
Okay, so let's talk about this. Thursday, we got a game, very big game. United versus Chelsea.
Who can concede the most goals?
Right now, honestly. How do you feel about Rudiger going to Real?
Yeah,
Tell
that's
me.
what I wanted to ask you, man. That was...
if everyone at home heard my sigh, it's such a... I loved ED at the end of that, Antonio Rudiger. He was what I wanted in a center back.
But here's the thing. Do you blame Rudiger or do you blame Chelsea?
Rumor has it, and this is only rumors, right?
Rumor has it.
Chelsea offered him $230,000 a week. Is that not enough money? And that was 230,000 pounds, $300,000.
Yeah.
Is that not enough money a week for you? You give me that a year, I'm happy. I'm playing football for you.
No, the thing is,
Turn that down. Listen, I don't blame him. He's going to Real. Right? That's where all the rumors
Yeah, but
point.
who are you gonna
here
start
we
in that
go
Real team?
soon. Here we go soon. As
Yeah.
per
Who are you gonna
Fabrizio
start in that
Romano.
Real
You know,
team, though?
Fabrizio Romano. Well, he is.
You could play back three. Honestly, Eder Militao, Alaba,
Yeah, but would
and
Ancelotti,
Yeah, but Alaba's age is getting up there too, so
That's also
they're
true.
thinking ahead of time.
But you could also throw Alaba in the midfield if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
or
you
left
know-
back.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
yeah,
there's
but
a bunch
gets
of
injured.
options.
Yeah,
Mendy gets
true.
injured, you can put him at left back.
But there's a bunch of options. And listen,
Right
if
back if you
you're
wanted
bringing
to.
Antonio Rudiger in for free, but my thing, it's my dad was upset with it because of the lack of loyalty from players. Like Chelsea played him, he won all this stuff with Chelsea.
But here's the thing. I think to Rudiger's defense, with what's happening with Chelsea right now, because like even though like you're really optimistic about what's going to happen with the club, everything, there's still a sense of uncertainty for a lot of the players. So do you stick with it even and you don't like you're not sort of satisfied with what you believe you deserve financially, or do you go somewhere where you're still going to be a guaranteed world beater?
Well, that's the thing. It's the selfishness of the modern day player in saying 230,000 pounds a week isn't a lot of money, isn't enough money. At a side that
There's the issue. It's just that there's players who get paid $1 million a week, dude. That's the biggest issue. Is that there's
but
players.
those clubs are the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, their financial management is just
Those
poor.
clubs are the problem.
Very
Like,
poor.
Right.
Well, right now, what I'm talking to you is Manchester United. They're paying players like that because the issue is that players come in on a free, so they make more because there's no transfer fee. So they have to be.
Well,
made
yeah,
more.
and that's what Rudiger's banking on at Real, right? But I mean, Chelsea supposedly by the end of May will have their new ownership in place.
I think that was the
But-
problem, that he couldn't wait for that contract.
Well, no,
They-
now
they-
he can. They've offered him a contract, from what I've read.
it was the original one that was made before all the sanctions happened. So that was one that was
At
offered to him.
230,000.
So Chelsea could not change that. That was the last contract offer they could make him.
Like, I understand wanting to go to Real Madrid. It's the same Eden Hazard debate I've had with people. Is
Yeah, but Hazard was there for how long
but
before he left?
I understand if you're gonna leave. Real Madrid is the club of royalty. You know, you're a Galactico, you're a Blanco. It's
high
to play for Real
expectations.
Madrid is
Here's the thing, because like
a dream for everyone.
Real right now is in this space where they're looking for the next guy in that team, right? They used to have the certain guys.
Rudiger is going to be that
Ramos.
Sergio Ramos guy
Yeah,
for them.
he is.
Exactly.
He's going to be the Ramos, and then you're going to have your.
Militao as your Varane.
But yeah, but then I'm trying to think of like names, right? Like Real's always had those names. Like there's the Ronaldo, the Bale, the Di Marias, the Ozils, the Kakas. Like you know what I'm saying? Higuain. But like that's the thing, right? It's like they're looking for those names now, and like the supposed Mbappe transfers, the Lewandowskis, the Hollands, they're going in for. They're really looking for those names.
Well, that's the thing. I think Antonio Rudiger is young enough to help make that transition as Benzema is going to start to fade out and all these leaders in the team.
Yeah.
Where Antonio Rudiger is that leader that Real Madrid's going to need, especially if you bring in, someone like Mbappe who is one of the best in the world, but ego might be one of the biggest in the world, right? When you're that good, that young, it's natural to have an ego.
But like
Yeah.
from what's reported though, it just seems like Mbappe is just tired of just the PSG way because it's a whole bunch of like drama queens over there.
Yeah, no, it is. It's
Like he wants to be in a real team, and who could blame him? He wants to be at a club where there's some certainty and some guarantee.
and once again, let's be real. Playing for Real Madrid is unlike anything else in the world.
Yeah.
Playing for Real Madrid is royalty. And I look at it and think, I'm not upset he's leaving, but I'm upset in the manner in which he's leaving.
For
Like
free.
my dad
Do you
hates the
think-
free
do-
transfers.
do-
You never,
do you
you never
think-
play
blame him.
for
Do you
for
think
free.
he would have left if Chelsea wasn't sanctioned?
I think he would have left regardless.
I don't know,
Because
man.
because at the same time, I don't think Chelsea's pushing too hard to keep him.
They were. Here's the thing. They were up until like December when they were when they were constructing the next contract offer. But as soon as January hit and all this stuff happened, and all this stuff dropped on them,
Now, Chelsea was in a really tough period at one point with all the sanctions when they first dropped. It's all loosened up now. It's all getting better. They're on the road to recovery. By May, everything will be back to normal. The 3 groups left in the bidding.
by May, if you get an owner by May, that's the issue.
Well, even if we
Because
don't,
the Premier League and the government have to approve it still.
yeah, but even if that's the whole point of bringing the Rain group in is they are going to hopefully pick and the new buyers they pick have all kind of been vetted properly. And I'm confident by the time the transfer window opens, there'll have been enough time where the sale has gone through. Chelsea Football Club has spoken with Tuchel, and he's able to kind of pick players out. Listen, I think they're letting him go because they have first right to Gahey, for example. I think Tomori's done. He's done. They have their first right on Gahey.
Don't you guys have buybacks on both of them?
On Gahey, I don't think on Tomori.
No, Tomori, no. Tomori was on there for loan, but
And then
Milan bought him out.
option to buy. Yeah, true.
But I think Chelsea is looking for a big summer of spending. Which,
that's what I feel like.
Which they can also afford. I mean, besides Lukaku, we haven't really spent that much money.
Havertz, Werner, when you guys got them.
I mean, but that was
Kovacic.
That was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, I still can't believe you guys signed Kovacic while you had a transfer ban. It still boggles my mind sometimes.
Yeah, and we paid like 30 million or something for him. We didn't pay a lot of money for Kovacic.
You paid what? It was like 40 billion euros or something.
I can check that up.
Because Real asked for a pretty penny still when you guys wanted him.
Mateo Kovacic.
My question is, who are they going to sign and replace out of Rudiger?
29 million euros, Ardi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
29, wow.
Which
Deal.
Which right now, because that's the thing. If we go back to that Arsenal game, Chelsea versus Arsenal, as soon as Kovacic got pulled off, you could tell that Conte has lost his step a little bit.
He's been, if it weren't for Thiago Silva, he'd be the best player Chelsea's had this year. And I still think it's Kovacic. He's been, since his days at Inter, we've had this conversation for a long time.
Oh, yeah, we've always known
the fact that he couldn't get into the Real Madrid side, winning those Champions Leagues and stuff. He still played plenty. Or into the Croatia side, he's just so good, man.
When he plays for Croatia, insane. It's just, how do you start over a Modric, Casemiro, Kroos?
Yeah, it's so difficult, and fair enough, Kovacic he's the kind of guy that I want to play with. He's gonna put in those hard tackles to win the ball back, and then he's gonna go beat 2 or 3 guys on the dribble in the midfield.
If he would have stayed, and because this new young generation with this, Valverde, Camavinga, and Kovacic being, the CDM, Camavinga and Valverde being the center mids, I think would be an amazing partnership between the 3 of them.
Yeah, listen, I think Kovacic fits with everyone, if we're being honest.
I mean, Chelsea has a rough run right now, no? Because they have to verse United on Thursday, and then they have to verse Everton on Sunday. So they're basically going to play their C and D team against these 2 teams. And no, just jokes. But that's the thing, right?
Isn't United a B team anyway?
Well, the United's relegation team right now with how we're
Pretty
playing.
sure if you put Wayne Rooney's son up top at United right now, he'd probably score a couple.
Or you can't take Ronaldo's son from the youth academy, guaranteed goal. But no, here's the thing, right? So even though we're bagging on United are desperate right now. Ronaldo's infuriated. The team.
I'd be too.
There's I would not underestimate United if I'm Chelsea. I'm not saying as a United fan. I'm just saying as what happens in the Premier League 9 times out of 10 is that team goes on really bad form. And there's always that one upset of that changes their form.
Yeah, well,
especially with both teams coming off a loss to the same exact team. They both lost to Arsenal on the bounce.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I'd never doubt United. I mean, listen, Ronaldo's going to be playing the match.
Yeah.
Never betting against Ronaldo. Ever.
And you also have, usually you have off-form Bruno. Pogba's out for the rest of the season. Fred's injured.
Start Matic.
You could put 10 Harry Maguires behind Cristiano Ronaldo.
And you're conceding 10 goals.
But he's going to score. Ronaldo's scoring 11.
Yeah, probably.
It's... Yeah, Ronaldo's just I'd never count him out unless actually Cole's marking, which he's lucky now. So,
but don't worry, he's on the Everton coaching staff.
Yeah, he is. That's true. Lampard brought him. Now, here's also the other thing we have to discuss: Liverpool via Real today.
Come on now.
You guys go first. I have a lot to say. I'm just going to agree or disagree with you guys and just shake my head here.
Okay, look, here's the thing. Liverpool have a chance of winning both the Premier League and the Champions League. But Villarreal has been one of the informed teams, especially with bringing in signings like Sergio Aurier and Lo Celso, both from Tottenham. Tottenham, you're dumb. Sorry. it's
Yeah, I don't. Lo Celso's quality, man.
it's gonna be a flip of a coin, to be perfectly honest.
The fact that Antonio Conte is starting Rodrigo Bentancur over Lo Celso just blows my mind.
I think. Well, here's the thing. Imagine having a proper midfield two of Lo Celso, Tunga, and Ndombele and not capitalizing on it. I think is a better question.
Or even Lo Celso and Højbjerg.
All three, like they had all three, and yet it just didn't work out for them. And I think it's just up to the manager personally, because you give them to Unai Emery, and they're looking phenomenal right now.
Yeah. Unai Emery has shown he can win in Europe.
Yeah.
We are in a very exciting period of football in the Champions League. Villarreal hasn't knocked out scrub teams. They've knocked out some
big teams. Yeah.
They just knocked out big old Bayern. I know you hear the sigh from Dejan over there. It's
and they knocked out United before that. Like
when they won the Europa League, they beat United in the final, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a Unai Emery and his teams aren't a joke.
It's
no, they're
Dan Juma. I think is a lot to their success.
How did I've known this guy for so long, always known he's good. How did these top clubs let him go under the radar away from Bournemouth?
Well, listen, a top club didn't. Villarreal took him. Villarreal is
because a Newcastle going for a Ryan Fraser, who's barely good in that team, but yet someone that has class as a Dan Juma just gets away. Like that just shows hey, hire me to be your
scouting
staff.
department.
Thank you.
Is always the problem. I don't understand what they're doing. Just like Southampton, let go of Jose Font. Tadic,
well,
Van
that's
Dijk.
just money. When clubs come in with a whole bunch of money for these players, you're gonna let them go. Southampton's always done that. Southampton is the Borussia Dortmund equivalent of
yeah, pretty much,
selling players and
Danny
continuing
Ings.
on. Danny Ings, how did they get a fee for Danny Ings? That's all I want to know.
How did it go under the radar? I didn't even know about it until Danny Ings posted that he left. I was like,
oh yeah, no, he went to
he kept it undisclosed. Nobody knew about it until
it was a waste for him to go to Villa because of having people like Ollie Watkins there, where you're better off relying on him. But
I'm calling it right now. Luis Diaz. Shout out to all my Colombians out there. Luis Diaz is gonna score a hat trick on Villarreal.
That's the thing, bro. You have people like Luis Diaz, Jota, Mane,
What an amazing
Firmino, Salah.
Honestly, what an amazing player, Luis Diaz. The stuff that he does.
To be perfectly honest,
he's so much fun to watch.
The flair is.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. This game depends on whether or not you get a class performance from Matip. Because Joel Matip has been the best center back for Liverpool this season.
I'm just surprised how that he's still playing for them.
Dude, are you kidding me? He's been better than Van Dijk this season, guaranteed. This season, he's played 10 times better than Van Dijk. Joel Matip.
Yeah, I don't want to start the argument because we don't have the next 4 hours to discuss how Liverpool's high press defense and the success they have in winning the ball in the attacking third has made Van Dijk look very good in the defensive third.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about how dominant they are higher up the field. That's made Van Dijk look a lot better than he is.
Yeah.
Do I think Van Dijk, Matip are quality? Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, it's a good partnership.
But to say Van Dijk's the best player to ever play in the Prem, the best center back,
absolutely not.
He doesn't break the top 5. But
maybe.
And I sit there and
just
start
because
getting slander
there's
from
a lot who are in the argument who haven't won a Premier League title, and sadly he has that to argue for him.
And I can put Kompany, Terry,
Vidic,
Ferdinand, Ricardo Carvalho,
Jaap Stam.
All of these guys. I mean,
yeah, you have. That's a shout. You have to.
5 different Arsenal center backs. There's
you have
Sol Campbell.
But there's so many that I think a decade from now, 2 decades from now, people are might talk about Van Dijk. We're always going to talk about Jaap Stam, right? We're always going to talk about Vidic and Terry and Ferdinand and all these guys. I think Van Dijk will get, and Matip, I think they'll get forgotten more than these other guys. Right? No one remembers Alex from Chelsea, the Brazilian.
Oh, I did.
He was quality. Yeah.
What an amazing.
How often do we talk about him? It's
so nobody. If you're Liverpool, are you starting Van Dijk, Matip? Or are you starting Van Dijk, Konate? Or are you starting Konate, Matip?
Konate.
I'm starting Matip, Van Dijk because it's proven.
Yeah.
Not that Konate isn't, but them two.
That's probably option A. But option B, if if you're already up 3-0, you might as well just start Konate. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
So What are we picking? Are we picking a Villarreal win?
Absolutely
a
not.
Liverpool win?
Liverpool are definitely
Or are we
going
picking a
again to the
draw?
Champions League final.
Because don't forget, like, Liverpool did struggle a little bit against Besiktas. They only won 6-4 aggregate. Like, Besiktas was a buffet.
Where
Was
is
it
the
Benfica or was it Benfica?
no
Benfica.
Benfica?
Sorry.
Where is the match? First leg.
I think
First
Liverpool.
leg is, I think it's in
It's
Anfield.
Liverpool.
If it's Anfield, 2-1 Liverpool.
I say 3. I say 3-1.
Yeah,
I say Jota 2 and Luis Diaz with 1.
It's Anfield, yep.
I think 2-1 at Anfield, and I think Villarreal maybe pulls like a 1-0 and they take it far. But it's also hard to not see this being. I think Villarreal is much better defensively than a lot of people realize.
Raul,
like, here's the
Biol,
thing,
Pau
like,
Torres.
if you're
They stopped Bayern from scoring.
Here's the thing: if you're able to shut down a Juve with a Vlahovic on fire right now, someone who's going supernova this season for goal scoring, I think that goes a lot towards your defensive standing.
I mean, they stopped a Bayern in over 2 legs from scoring more than
One.
Bayern scored one goal.
One goal, that's
One goal
it.
in 2 matches. That's Bayern. Lewandowski's on that team.
You're reminding me. I understand. I mean,
But like
To
all
be
that
fair-
pain you feel, Villarreal beat Bayern 2-1.
to be fair, they always kept attacking Pavard's side, and Pavard hasn't done anything since the World Cup.
Yeah, but also, like, you cannot disregard Salah pulling a goal somehow, some way. Like, Mo Salah is just a freak of nature.
Mo Salah running down.
Villarreal beat Juve 4-1 on
I
aggregate.
know, I just said
Like
that.
it's
That's because also clumsy defending from Juve. Horrible defending.
But tied Real Madrid 0-0. I mean, look at some of these big matches. They tied Atleti 2-2.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back and you look at a bunch of their matches, like, they're good games. I mean,
So here's the thing. So there's a
it's
possibility this could be either an all English final or all Spanish final.
I want City
Liverpool.
Villarreal, and I want Villarreal winning.
Yeah.
Because I think Unai Emery knocking out City after knocking out Klopp and Bayern and Juve. I mean, talk about if Villarreal were to win the Champions League this year, we always talk about the unbelievable run Chelsea made a decade ago.
Or even
But,
or even the
like,
Ajax who made it to the
yeah.
semifinal.
But
That
like
was so
to win it,
heartbreaking,
that
man.
run to win it, talk about a schedule to play.
Yeah.
You know, and they had United and Real. I mean, they had United in the group stage, United Sevilla in the group stage,
Yeah.
right? Was it Sevilla?
No.
No, it
I'll
was.
check for you right now.
I know they had young boys.
Table. It was Man United, Villarreal, Atalanta, Young Boys.
And then
Atalanta as a shout. So
But like that's so much respect for Unai Emery. So much, especially after he got the sack so quickly from
at
Arsenal.
yeah. That's the thing. It's like there's certain managers who only thrive in like certain like leagues, and Unai Emery is your La Liga manager. Like that's the guy I'd go to if I'm a La Liga
Who
club.
did Unai Emery take over for? Did he take over after Wenger or did he take over after somebody else?
No, he took over after Wenger. They had an
Yeah.
intermediate.
It's also that hard. You have a high expectation because you have somebody like Wenger who did everything for Arsenal.
Well, you
and
understand,
stepping
like,
into his shoes.
Arsene Wenger got away with only spending $5 million a summer and still somehow making top 4. That's the type of class manager he is.
It's pretty hard, Those are very gigantic shoes to fill, especially for Unai Emery. To come, from probably... Well, where did he come from? From French League? I'm pretty sure.
Unai Emery.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't he at PSG?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was at PSG.
He was at PSG. He went from PSG, came over to Arsenal, had gigantic shoes to fill. Unfortunately, he couldn't do the job. Switches to Villarreal, and now
Yeah.
see where they are.
Valencia, Spartak Moscow,
Shout out to
Sevilla,
Spartak.
where we know he was unreal in the Europa League, to PSG, to Arsenal, to Villarreal. I mean, for someone who the biggest club he ever played for was Real Sociedad for a bit, and then he played for Toledo a little bit. That's an impressive coaching CV. I
Yeah.
mean, and he wins. It's not like he doesn't win. People think Unai Emery is this second-rate manager or whatever. I mean, he won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trophies with PSG in his time there. He won 3 Europa Leagues, right, back to back with Sevilla. Europa League runner-up with Arsenal when they lost to Chelsea. won the Europa League with Villarreal, and he's now en route to be, hopefully a finalist or a Champions League winner if he, depending on how Liverpool match goes, right? I mean, Unai Emery, put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
He deserves it. After all the slander he's gotten from his Arsenal days, he definitely deserves it.
And he's not old. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's 50 years old. He's a couple years younger than Mourinho.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. He's not, and I've never heard of his arrogance or his ego getting in the way of things either. He's very liked by most people. Listen, he wins.
Yeah.
He wins, but you have to give him time, and he'll win. Arsenal, I think Arteta's great, but
if they would have given him one more season, I feel like they would have been okay.
If Emery had came in, let's say after an Arteta, then Arsenal would have gone supernova. I think if you give Emery, Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, all the Tomiyasu, Tierney, all these players that came through,
he would have been a machine.
Yeah. That Arsenal team would be. The people would not be underestimating Arsenal going in against Chelsea United. Like, people would be putting their money on Arsenal. So we have to pick a winner. Who is winning this game today?
Liverpool.
Anfield, Liverpool by 1 goal.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Villarreal.
Danjuma double.
Danjuma double. No, Paco Alcacer double.
Serge Aurier double.
Paco Alcacer is pretty old now, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's still killing it.
Paco?
Yeah.
Also, Raul Albiol, their captain.
Oh my God,
That guy's been playing for Napoli for
He's like
years.
36 years old.
He swapped from Napoli, and he's been playing even better at Villarreal.
Oh wow! Apologies to Paco Alcacer. He's only 28. I feel like he's
Oh my
35.
Well, he's had that effect of like a Sterling of being in the game for so long.
Yeah, no. Respect.
So you're
to
telling
that.
me when he was at Dortmund, he was 26, 25?
Yeah, he was like 25. Yeah, he was young. Yeah, young.
That's the only reason I remember him is because he kept putting balls in the back of the net against Bayern, and I hated him.
Yeah. So Champions League discussed. What we have to talk about now is the matches coming up during the week. Saturday, we have a lot of big matches going on. We have a Newcastle, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Norwich, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Watford, Burnley, Wolves versus Brighton, and Leeds versus City. On the Saturday.
Real quick,
Yeah.
can we just mention Europa League, Conference League, real quick? Just
Yeah,
because,
please. Oh, man.
Okay.
Just because I'm hashtag Team Moyes. All right.
Absolutely not.
Oh yeah, West Ham.
Hashtag Team Kostic for me.
I
Go Frankfurt.
I already have West Ham winning it. So that's why I've been
Nah.
Oh, Frankfurt's quality.
Frankfurt, Kostic, masterclass against Barca.
And Leipzig is no joke either. Right?
Rangers?
Out of nowhere.
What?
Like,
You telling me, what's his name? Tavernier, 30 goals in 30 games as a right back?
how ridiculous is that?
How? How do you have
How
30
is he not
goals?
in the Prem yet?
I don't know. I don't understand.
Like, I think...
Yeah, so we have some big games tomorrow. So we have Leipzig, Rangers, and then Frankfurt, West Ham.
Oh, man.
And,
Dude,
like, I think it is...
These are better games in the Champions League.
I say this to people all the time. I love Europa League. Now the fact that they added the Conference League,
Yeah, that makes
right?
it
And
even
where we're gonna get to see United next year.
I hope we don't get Europa League. I hope we get nothing. I don't want any Europe. I want us to just have time.
But like when you can get matchups out of nowhere, like we have Feyenoord, Marseille, and Roma, Leicester City in the
Dude,
Conference
that's gonna be
League.
an amazing game.
Leicester City, Roma,
oh,
like
man.
hey, that's so much fun. That's a game you'd have to bet a lot of money to maybe one day see that in the Champions League.
It's unfortunate because
But it's like,
the Europa League and the Conference League have a lot better matches this year than the Champions League does.
Like you get to see Mourinho against a Premier League side.
Imagine Mourinho against Brendan Rodgers. That's
How crazy! Hey, like
wow.
the teacher versus the student, right? Because
Exactly.
Brendan Rodgers worked at Chelsea
Yeah.
during Mourinho's first stint.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I just love that Frankfurt knocked out Barcelona. Like, it makes me so
I do
happy.
too. I absolutely love it, and I'm glad that a Serb scored twice.
I'm not.
I think there's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people that would agree with you to see that they were happy Barcelona got knocked out.
It would have been really cool though if we were able to see like a Barcelona versus West Ham. I feel like it would have been cool for a West Ham to like play their like for their first time playing a really big club internationally like that.
Also, give credit to David Moyes. Wow. Like,
here's the thing, I give credit to Moyes, but also he has probably one of the best backroom staffs that was just given to him. Like he didn't even put it together himself. Like their recruitment, their scouting, a lot of the assistants, like they have probably one of the strongest backroom staffs you could find right now, in comparison to maybe a Liverpool or even a City. Like it's insane the staff that they have.
no, these games are definitely probably, in my opinion, 100% better than Champions League games this year. Guaranteed. I feel like even for both Conference League and Europa League, there's going to be goals scored, and a lot of them scored. So,
I agree. So you guys want to do Conference League, or I can go right back to the Premier League? What are we doing here?
Oh well, if we're gonna talk Conference League for a quick second,
I got Roma winning it all.
I think the winner of that match wins. I don't think the other side is too difficult, but Leicester versus Roma is going to be so cool.
It is.
I can't wait.
And you have Chelsea United at the same time.
Yeah, but I'm watching Chelsea United, of course.
I'll be at FDU practice.
I won't be.
Unless I don't think I'm feeling too well.
Yeah.
But,
sorry, we got him sick, guys. My apologies.
But we can move on to Prem.
Exactly. So Premier League. All right, I'm gonna redo my overview. Can I do my overview again, guys, or no?
Sure, that's fine.
So I already discussed blah blah Saturday, Liverpool, blah blah whatever, and on Sunday we have Everton, Chelsea, Tottenham, Leicester. So we're gonna go top of the order. So Newcastle versus Liverpool. What are we calling for scores?
2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
I feel like Liverpool are gonna score 2. They're gonna take their foot off the gas. Saint Maximin and Hugo Almiron are just gonna have another masterclass as they did last, and they're gonna score twice.
It's gonna be 4-2 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool for me. I just think Klopp is going to be relentless in the pursuit for the Premier League title.
If there's a chance that Klopp can win a double, he's taking it this time.
Well,
he's not choking it.
If Liverpool loses today, they lose again this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle if Liverpool manages to lose.
Okay, so Aston Villa, Norwich. I think Villa goes clear. They win it.
Yeah,
2
Villa.
goals.
I see Villa score.
Norwich, I think, are guaranteed relegation now.
Yeah, Villa 2-1 Villa.
Southampton, Crystal Palace. Oof. I think
I got Crystal Palace. Shout out Sam.
Yeah,
I got Crystal Palace.
I think it's gonna be like a 1-0 win for Palace. Like, it's gonna be close.
I got 3-1.
3-1.
3-1 for Palace.
What? Willie Zaha had a hat trick.
I think Olise with a brace. To be perfectly honest.
No, you know what I think honestly? Zaha with 2, and Conor Gallagher.
Collar.
Gallagher's gonna score 1 from like the top of the 18 and just rocket it to the top left.
A Granite Xhaka special, as we say here.
Crystal Palace edges out a 2-1 win. 80th plus minute winner.
Yeah. Next, Watford, Burnley. This is actually a big game here.
Go Burnley.
I'm going Cycling GK. I want Ben Foster.
Shame on what Burnley did to Sean Dyche. Shame.
Oh yeah, it really
Absolute shame. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Like, how do you let him go when the season's nearly
10
over?
10 plus years. He put you through the championship. He got you promoted, and it kept you there for a good 5 seasons. And you sack him.
It's the same thing with Bournemouth with Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe brought them all the way up, kept them in the league for so long, and you just get rid of him before the season almost ends.
See, I don't understand the logic and the reasoning behind that. The guy's good. Why sack him?
I think Burnley knows what's going to happen. They know where they're going, and they just want to cut ties with whatever and just restart. To be perfectly honest.
If I was Sean Dyche, I'd be looking for another job, because he could fit anywhere.
I wouldn't be surprised if he either gets a top level championship job, or if he gets a job with one of the new clubs that get promoted from. Imagine
Sean Dyche with Fulham.
Sean Dyche for Fulham would just be a Burnley-esque defending. They just defend. That's all Fulham would do.
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
Yeah, no.
Fulham coming up.
Shout out to Mr. Mitrovic with 40 goals in 40
Good
games.
for him. Good old Tim Reams coming back, baby.
Yeah.
Nah. Absolutely not.
Love Tim Ream.
Mitrovic.
You have to send Mitrovic somewhere.
Also, Fabio Carvalho, new Liverpool signing.
Yep.
Amazing youngster.
Yep,
Amazing.
Really good.
What that kid does is incredible.
So I'm going Watford win. 2-1 Emmanuel Dennis goal. Woot Weghorst scores for Burnley.
Oh, forgot about it.
1-1 for me.
I got 2-1.
Okay. Wolves versus Brighton. I think Brighton pulls the victory here.
Wolves versus Brighton.
I think it's gonna be 1-1.
I think Brighton pulls the victory because
2-2 for me.
this is going to be a record season for points tally wise for Brighton and plus place finish. They're going to be finishing the highest they've ever finished in their club history. So I think they want to continue that run and try to edge out more points, especially with someone like I think a Wolves who's like right on their tail or right above them. Yeah, Wolves is literally right above Brighton. They're in 8th and Brighton's in 11th.
Yeah, no, I believe.
I'm going for a tie. I don't,
What are we thinking?
2-2.
2-2.
I'll go 1-1.
I'm going. It's gonna be a dull match.
I'm
I
going. You know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm going
6-0.
10-12. No, I'm joking.
8-8.
Tariq Lamptey scores all 8 goals.
Harry Maguire managed to play for both teams.
I think it's gonna be a 3-goal thriller, 3-1
Oh, that's
for Brighton.
one. Meh, maybe I can see it happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Prem. Anything can happen.
Exactly.
10-12 could happen. Let's be real.
And then Manchester City versus Leeds. I'm going.
Go Jesse.
I'm going 4-0 against Man City. Daniel James scores 4
5 goals, but one gets disallowed.
Yeah, exactly.
One gets disallowed because it hurts Pep's feelings.
Can I just say that Daniel James should have never left Manchester United? To be
Agreed.
perfectly honest,
Agreed. I love Dan James.
He should have never left United.
United let him go. I mean,
It was because you
Once
can't blame him.
again,
As soon as Ronaldo and Sancho come in, where do you have a starting place? Whereas now, I guarantee you, it would be Sancho, Ronaldo, and Daniel James starting up top right now with Dan James out wide. And that
over
team,
Elanga?
I guaranteed over Elanga. I'd take Dan James over Elanga in a heartbeat, bro.
What do you think? Bez?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Elanga's still young, so I don't know.
But like
He's shown good flashes there,
but,
hasn't
dude,
he?
Well, are we not gonna forget Dan James' debut against Chelsea?
I'm going for that reason. I'm going Elanga.
No, so then Man City leads. I think Man City pulls a 3-0 victory.
I say 4-0.
But honestly, yet again, like they're coming off a high
3-1 City.
of just dominating like Real. Granted, Real came back a little bit, but still, what a class performance that day, yesterday. So it's just gonna have to be Man City 3-0. Like I think there's no shot they choke it, especially in such a close title race where they have to win every game to make sure that Liverpool stays off them.
Yeah,
Liverpool have definitely no margin for error.
No, not in the City.
They let one thing slip up, they're done.
And then now we have Everton, Chelsea.
Go Lampard.
I see 5 goals for Donny van de Beek against Chelsea. Rudiger's gonna stop defending because he doesn't care about Chelsea anymore.
now,
Imagine the scenes. He just lets everybody go by.
Now, to all of our listeners out there, stop laughing because I know the thought of Chelsea losing to Everton seems funny, but it's so real.
It's so real.
No. Ready? 90th minute, tied at 1-1. On comes Everton's new number 8, Frank Lampard, subs himself on for set piece from 35 yards, buries it top bins.
I wouldn't doubt it, to be perfectly honest.
Hey, but no, he's not in a uniform. He's put his kit on over his suit.
He's playing
He's playing his loafers. And he hits a strike from distance, reminding people why he is the greatest midfielder to ever play on Merseyside. Chelsea by 3 goals.
I don't think it's a 3.
I say 1-1 and a red card to Chelsea because Richarlison is a pigeon. So
A pigeon.
So he's gonna definitely get double-sided right in the chest.
Just to be clear, I love Richarlison.
So do
I
I.
I would take him at Chelsea.
Are you kidding?
don't.
You know what I think is gonna happen? I think Everton goes down, and then Man City are gonna go in for a bid, because they would not mind the attacking backup for having another striker in their lineup.
See, I
They
can
need
see
a striker.
that.
Yeah, but like
City
that-
need a striker.
Well, I was supposedly Holland guaranteed, supposedly.
Why not?
There's
His father
nothing.
played for City.
There's nothing wrong with having Richarlison as a backup. I would not doubt that.
I hate him.
I think Richarlison would fit in well at City. Actually,
He'd fit phenomenally at City.
I started hating him when he started doing that little thing against Manchester United where he started dribbling off his head.
Wow.
I also see him fitting well at like Spurs if Kane leaves.
God
Yeah.
forbid Stam.
I think Richarlison fits anywhere. I think he's a good signing for any club in the Prem, outside maybe Liverpool.
Yeah, because
But like I also see like Richarlison. I don't think he'd be much of a surprise like being good at like a
Richarlison's
Juve
I
and
think
Inter and
only
Milan.
issue is gonna be his wage, what he's gonna ask for, because right now he's getting paid a lot at Everton. Like right now he's getting paid like I think $350 a week,
yeah that's
and that's been this issue, right? That's why everyone's worried about Everton going down, because Everton has no relegation clauses in any of their players' contracts.
Also, all the players at Everton. You're looking at Allen, Decore.
Yeah, all of them are still gonna be getting
Wow.
paid hundreds of thousands a week if they get relegated.
Imagine Allen going from Napoli thinking he's going to get a nice Premier League move, stay in the Premier League, goes to Everton.
Did you not see the other day? He only got 2 complete passes,
Yeah.
and they were both from kickoff. Poor Allen, I love him, but like,
at the beginning of the season we were talking about how important he would be and what a great
was
great
such a
midfield
good
they
one.
oh
built.
my god,
Talk about going downhill quickly.
that's what happens when you remove Ancelotti from all these great players that have no support over there. It's just GG's. It's a wrap. So Chelsea Everton, I think Chelsea pulls the victory.
Everton 1-1. Red card to Richarlison getting
I can't believe
double started in the face.
how good that Everton team was supposed to be.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like they need to put
Who are their
Leighton
center
Baines
backs?
back on the pitch.
Their center backs, it's Holgate and Kane, and usually Yerry Mina, but he's injured.
Oh, God.
Yerry Mina is actually class for them. He's just always getting injured.
I see why. I see why they're in 18th place.
But Leighton Baines has come out of retirement to save their season. A couple
Yeah, Seamus Coleman.
set pieces.
Another couple free kicks.
Yeah.
Insane. All right, next, Tottenham, Leicester City. A very big game here, guys. Huge. Because this game can decide whether or not Tottenham finishes top 4.
I think my good old friend, the Red Bull drinker before the games, Mr. Jamie Vardy, who was going to have a party.
Oh, yeah, a Red Bull and a bogey right before he goes on the pitch.
It used to work like 20, 30 years ago. Like 30 years ago, that worked for every footballer.
Oh, no, 30 years ago, they'd be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
Fowler?
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Hand of God goal scorer, Diego Maradona.
Rest in peace.
Yes, may God bless his soul. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jamie Vardy's so good. I think it'll be a shootout. It's gonna be like a 3-2 win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I
I
agree
think
with
Leicester
you on that
loses 3-2.
one. Oh, I switched. I think they win 3-2.
I just think Antonio Conte.
I think, honestly, Kane's finally like back to form. That's always Harry Kane, which really annoys me. Harry Kane has a really garbage 3 months, and then he's like, okay, let me turn it on now, and then just goes crazy.
Yeah, right. Suddenly, all right, let's play.
And then Heung-min Son, by the way, I think he's second in the Premier League for Golden
Sonny.
Boot. Like you cannot underestimate Heung-min Son.
Agreed.
Along with Mr. Steven Bergwijn, who was supposed to leave. Then scores 2
Kulusevski.
goals. Oh, yeah, Dan Kulusevski, yes. Amazing
What's it called?
player.
Lucas Moura when he's fit. Lucas Moura, single-handedly brought freaking Tottenham to the Champions League final.
The Danish destroyer of Højbjerg in the midfield.
Like, it's just tough because Leicester have been so off this season in comparison to what they used to be, that it's like they've been going up,
And then
I don't think they've hit their peak. I think the ride just sort of messed up a little bit, and they've dropped a few tracks. This has been really a backwards season for them.
Yeah.
it's been that one little roller coaster that just goes in a circle. Just goes up and then goes right back down. And then goes up and then goes right back down.
I think it's. Yeah, I don't know what to think. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Spurs, dude, if they don't win this match, it might not matter whether or not they beat Arsenal.
Yeah, because Arsenal might just be running free.
You know,
Also, Conte, I heard Conte is supposed to be doing a swap with Pochettino. I'm supposed to be going to PSG, and Pochettino's supposed to be returning to Tottenham.
I don't think
That's not
happen.
gonna happen. Are you kidding? Conte, I think, would have murdered somebody at PSG.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah,
he's gonna 2-foot tackle someone in the first training.
2-foot tackle Messi.
Messi's gonna anger him, like say something to him, and he's just gonna hop up and like drop kick him. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no,
Him and Neymar are gonna get into a fist fight brawl into the locker room.
He'll drop Neymar in a heartbeat. He does not care.
Yeah, I see. Being a huge fan of Antonio Conte's, honestly, he's not gonna want to deal with those egos. He's gonna bring someone like Gattuso in and be like, "All right, my friend's here to teach you guys a lesson."
Yeah,
Gattuso and Ibra.
And like at that time, the medical staff will also be on site. Like,
Double staff.
But that's what I love about Antonio Conte. You're all in or you're out.
yeah.
Along with Maurizio Sarri.
Yeah,
It's crazy what-
he's doing okay.
Also, Poch is the same thing though. Like Pochettino, he gets the best out of his teams because it's either you're all in or you're all out. Like that's how it worked for him at Tottenham. Anytime he had a falling out with a player, it's because the player didn't believe in the vision, so they were dropped from the team.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think he is very.
Very,
Very.
very.
Exactly. Confusing because Poch is.
Very.
I don't think
Is-
PSG was the best move for him.
No, it wasn't. It was the worst movie he could have made.
You know, I really thought he was gonna end up at like United or something.
Absolutely.
You gotta understand.
I don't think
United-
Pochettino would ever touch.
United wouldn't have
the
worked for
Theodore
Poch
Jones.
either, just because the
No, I don't
board-
think. But I think that's
the board is so delusional there that the only person who I see working there is a Ten Hag. To be perfectly honest.
and even him. They either have to give him what he needs, or he won't be there long either. They have to back him fully from now.
What people have to understand is that with a Ten Hag coming in, they have to get rid of any thought possible of we're winning something, of just let it happen. Like we have to treat our team as if we're Leicester. Just let it happen. We can't have these expectations of Champions League and winning and all this stuff. We have to just take it by the wayside and hope for the best. That's going to be the only way it's going to work.
Yeah. Except if Ten Hag has to go in and get his hands dirty at United, does FIFA allow you to sign a whole new squad in one transfer window?
Here's the thing: we're going to be supposedly losing 10 players.
Lingard's gone. Martial is definitely.
And you need that. Listen, sometimes
We just
you
need
need
to clear everything out.
It's a Band-Aid. Rip it off.
Mata's going, Matic is going, Jones is going, Lingard's
Which
going.
I love the fact that Mata and Matic are still two players who, in the time they spent at Chelsea, they're still known for, wow, when they were at Chelsea, these guys were good.
Well, no, Mata,
He won the Champions League at Chelsea, which isn't fair to United.
I know,
but
because
he fell off. He should have been an all-time Premier League great.
Mata, but Mata, when his first 3 seasons at United was phenomenal. I don't think there was nothing wrong with Mata
But
at
his
all.
best season at United would have been one of his okay seasons at Chelsea. Like he was, you have to remember he had more goals and assists than anyone in the Chelsea squad when he was. He's a forgotten player. His style of play is being more and more forgotten as time goes on. Someone who, like at Chelsea, people are like, oh, where does Mata play? Oh, everywhere. He kind of just shows up.
Wherever I could fit him.
He's the equivalent of a David Silva, though.
Yeah, exactly. That whole style of midfielder, is being lost. And Mata was phenomenal at it. Like he'd pick up the ball in random spaces, and he just made things happen.
Mata and Rooney were the reason why we didn't finish 12th that first season.
Fair enough. I'll give that to you. Yeah, fair enough.
Matic also. Matic has done a lot for Chelsea and United.
Yeah, United, dude. I keep saying this. If Matic was 5 years younger, man, he'd
Yeah.
be so good in United midfield.
Matic, like when he was tearing it up and winning league titles at Chelsea and stuff, he was so
the
good.
issue
Top
now
bins
with
against Tottenham. Oh man, I still remember Kurt Zuma's reaction.
What about against Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
That one
So,
too.
For
Outside the
United,
box.
outside the box, just bangs it. Top
So,
Yeah, you got
corner.
when you got Pogba and who I don't know who else was screaming at him. Don't shoot.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know who I am? Bang.
When Matic hit that shot against Spurs at Wembley,
Disgusting.
my dad and I are sitting on
Oh,
our
God.
couch at my room, and we're just watching the game. The second he lines up for it, no, and then we're like, oh, and we go crazy for it, and we look at each other, we just start laughing. We're like, oh, like we both have the same. We're like, no, oh my God, yes. And my,
What a
it's
strike.
so memorable. I think next week let's take some time and talk about forgotten Premier League players, because I think Juan Mata, for example, is one of those guys
He's
who
gonna be a forgotten Premier League player.
like it's such a shame. The quality, phenomenal player. You know, he's almost like a Michael Carrick who doesn't get it discussed enough. Who on his day, Michael Carrick was
Are you
top
kidding
notch.
me? You had a midfield three of what was it? It was Michael Carrick, Darren Fletcher, and Paul Scholes at one point. Like, think about it. Like, granted, like, no offense to Darren Fletcher, but you had Michael Carrick and Paul Scholes carrying you in a midfield.
Big
you know,
Fletch.
Big Fletch.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, it's a shame to see the United midfielders that of days past.
And then you have people like McTominay. No offense, like. He's a professional, but he's not a United player. Like, I see him starting for a Leicester
That's all I
a
can say.
Leeds or an Aston Villa.
I think McTominay would actually be decent at West Ham when Rice leaves.
Exactly. I
McTominay
agree with
would
that
do
too.
well at Leicester.
Tomlin also could do good in the Bundesliga. I could see him fitting in Dortmund.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, he
That would be interesting to see.
McTominay, Emery Chan, and Jude Bellingham.
You know, that would be totally
Yep.
interesting to see.
So, guys, we were actually entering the final minute of our time, but we have a quick surprise appearance from someone. Let him say hi.
What up?
On, wait, volume's up. Maz, welcome back. Actually, Maz has been one of the first few guests on the show. He came for a little surprise appearance.
How's it going, fellas?
How we doing? We're just finishing up our discussion here as we're nearing our end. Would you like to say anything?
I would just like to say that Real Madrid's going to come back and take the entire Champions League.
All right,
That-
talk
That's
about a
my
hot
mic
take.
drop.
Talk about a hot take.
That's his hot take. That's his hot
Mic
take.
drop. Y'all have a
And
good day.
everybody, thank you so much for coming here. This is top of the hour WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Matchweek.
Thanks, Ardi.